Hello, darlings, and welcome to Digimon Ghost Gaze. This is the podcast where we sure do fucking shower every day. We're not fucking gross little piggies over here. I'm Emery. My pronouns are they, she, he.
Speak for yourself. That's not good for your hair. My name...
I don't wash my hair every day.
It's called depression.
You know what? Fair. You know what? You're exempt from smelly little piggy status if you have depression.
My name is Borg. My pronouns are they, he. And unfortunately, our third co-host has been eaten by a plant.
Yeah, Elvir's not feeling well. They got eaten by a plant. We're hoping they get out of there soon. But yeah, it's just us for this week. We should do a content warning, huh?
Yeah.
So yeah, this one is sexual, unfortunately. Specifically, it features a Digimon, very preying on a teenager in a very sexually coded way. So, just a heads up about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff with like smells and like you look delicious. It's very strange. So yeah, watch out. We are going to talk about that. Because it's unavoidable. Trust me, we've tried. No, it's...
Unfortunately, we do have to put warning labels for musk kink and vor kink in here. Never thought I'd be saying that in this fucking podcast.
I mean, we've talked about, like, people getting eaten before, like, by the trees and stuff.
But, like, not in an explicitly sexual way like we get here.
Yeah, this is, like, very horny about it. It's, like, very, like... Huh, okay.
Yeah. I think Devin described it pretty well in the Discord when he said that it's sexual but not horny. Like, it's sexual but not in a way that anyone is enjoying unless you're a real freak.
Yeah, I mean, it probably awoken something in some teenager somewhere, and I can't...
no.
I can't blame them for that, but anyone else, it's like, you're going to jail. Sorry.
You're going to jail.
Unless you're a teenager, you're going to jail. Yeah, but it starts with, another thing that's a problem is that the person being creeped on is our favorite boy, Kotaro Nomura. Like,
Kotaro. Favorite boy ironic.
Yeah, no.
Favorite boy derogatory.
Favorite boy derogatory. He's like, I want to smell good for all the ladies. Haha. But he goes into the showers and he's actually attacked.
Like, no, the first thing we fucking see Kotaro doing is, like, just hanging around outside a pool and just being horny for the girls in their very modest one-piece swimsuits.
That's right. Sorry, the talking about smelling good is later when he's talking to Hiro.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he's just a little creep to some ladies.
He's just being a fucking creep. We don't even see him swimming. We can only assume that he went to this fucking YMCA or whatever specifically to be a creep. And, ugh. Man, I hate this guy so fucking much. I wish he would die.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not in this episode.
Unfortunately, he doesn't. Yeah. That's another thing about this episode. We are teased with getting to see Kotaro's violent, gory end, and then we are denied that simple pleasure.
You knew that wasn't gonna happen. He's too close to
Yeah,
Hiro.
I did. But a girl can dream.
So true. But yeah, he like goes into the showers of the pool.
Not even the shower, just like the changing room, and fucking
Oh, you're right.
while he's changing, like a fucking what looks like a gross slimy tentacle comes down out of the ceiling grate and licks him.
It sure does.
In a way that. Really, in a way that lets you know that the directors are know exactly what they're evoking here with the fucking slimy tentacle.
Mm-hmm. It licks him and like leaves this little like bud on his neck, like a flower bud.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, he doesn't notice anything really wrong, other than like. Mm-hmm. Wow, my neck feels weird or something.
He gets sort of, it does cut to like this weird, X-ray shot with sort of like these sort of like roots just like sort of spreading out in his neck, indicating that he got a real weird and bad feeling when the tentacle touched him.
Yeah. And we get like the title card, Queen's Banquet, and Hiro and Gamamon are being talked to by Nomura, and this is where he's like, you gotta be clean for the ladies, haha.
Yeah. So Hiro, Gamamon, and Nomura go to this giant communal bath that's apparently just like right there in this dorm. It looks so luxurious. What? Is this normal?
I was like, is this in the school? I think that's why I was confused, because I was like, he was at the pool and then in this, and I thought they were the same place at first, and I'm like, wait, no, one's in the school and one's not. Okay.
Yeah, I assume that like the big. Yeah, no, the bath is the school because, like, the students are in charge of cleaning it.
Yeah, right.
And that's fucking wild. It's such a huge bath. What the fuck?
God, yeah. I wish there was a bath like that. At my school? Even at my college. Actually, that might be kind of weird.
No, I definitely wouldn't want to be taking a bath with my fellow high school students. As an adult, if it were like friends I were chill with, then it would be a different story, but,
Yeah, I actually did that recently. I did it in like a Springs. Not that recently, it was actually, but...
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah. I did it with a bunch of friends. We had our own little... cornered off place. But yeah, Nomura like looks into the pool and like the water looks all like red and weird to him, and there's just like these plants like growing out of it, and they like attack him like enough to like trip him over.
Yeah. And speaking of fucking tentacles, like, once again, the directors know exactly what they're evoking here, because the tentacles, like, force their way into his mouth and ears and nose, and it's like, ooh, boy.
That was kind of where I was, like, really, like, oh, we're in for this, okay. Like...
Yeah. Oh, they're making it very sexual in a very uncomfortable way.
And it's weird because, like, you see all this happening, but then, like, Hiro's still there, and he's calling out to him, and, like, suddenly all the plants are gone, and it's like, oh, he hallucinated this?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah, because, like, Hiro and Gamamon, like, don't react to it at all. They're just like, what's going on, Kotaro? Why'd you fall over all of a sudden?
Yeah.
So Kotaro freaks out and runs away. Then we cut to a scene later where, Hiro and Kotaro are just like walking, and there's all these puddles on the sidewalk, and then like Kotaro like sees the plants again in the puddle, even though it's like definitely too shallow for like anything to grow in it. And you know the plants come out and trip him again, but then you know like then they just disappear.
And it's getting so bad, like. Well, he's like, he runs away from the puddle, and Hiro's like, you know, Hiro keeps seeing him like fucked up by the water. He doesn't really know what's going on.
Yeah, we see Kotaro being like very anxious about like drinking a glass of water, just like fucking staring at it like, oh god, is this gonna fuck me up? But you know, he's able to drink water just fine, and so he's like, okay, maybe this, you know, maybe I'm good now. Maybe this is done with. And then just cut immediately to him running out of the bathroom like, no, it's not.
Yeah. The tentacle didn't want him to dehydrate. It just didn't want him to get into the pool, into the tub.
Yeah.
Into the puddles, whatever. And he like runs out and he like fucking trips on a bunch of shit while running out and goes past Kyoshiro, and he's like, what the fuck is going on?
Kyoshiro has the incredible line, a clean bathroom is a clean mind.
God, yeah, he sure does.
Yeah, because he's like overseeing the students like cleaning the bathroom, and like when Kotaro runs away, he's like, hey, you haven't finished cleaning!
Clean mind.
Get back here.
Is he into brainwashing? Sorry. This episode's already, like, weird enough.
Super fucking weird, yeah, like... Boy, I think this one probably surpasses the Ayataramon episode on the not okay for kids scale. This one, I'm...
Which one?
Fucking shocked that they went to the places that they did with this episode. Like, damn.
Which one was the Ayataramon one?
Ayataramon is the one with, like, the plant horror where Kyoshiro got turned, like 60% into a plant.
That's right. Man, that one was kind of like... Well, I guess that one was more like weird... toxic romance, but still, it was like...
Yeah. And also specifically, like, Ayataramon injecting themselves with the poison and then just, like, completely fucking decomposing on the spot.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
This episode, or this series likes to do some weird shit.
Sure do.
But... we see it like Kotaro like coming out of just like a little mini mart thing, and like he's just walking over a grate, like a sewer grate, and there's like he sees the water and the plants like come out of the sewer grate and like latch onto his feet. And he runs and abandons his bag.
Yeah, so we just get a bunch of rapid fire scenes of Kotaro, you know, being tortured by these plants. And then we see him, you know, in bed at night, like, you know, huddled up under his covers, and a little ceiling pervert drops down, just like totally hanging from the ceiling out of like a little distortion portal that they made. And you know, this Digimon, like, their head is like, you know, has these like big sort of flowy flower petals. Like, I'm pretty sure their design is like based on like a corpse flower, so their head is just like this big flower with like, you know, the face in the center and like no eyes and just like a fucked up mouth with sharp teeth and a big long tongue, which is like actually the tentacle we saw earlier. And that like fucking tongue is just like sort of like prodding around like, you know, the pile of, you know, sheets that Kotaro is under, and like fucking, you know, she's making sniffing sounds and stuff, and it's real gross to look at and think about. And she's like, he's not quite ready yet.
He's not ready. Just another day or so. Yeah, I didn't realize it was a corpse plant because I just think of Vileplume.
Isn't Vileplume also based on a stinky flower? I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah.
That's why it's like vile, like stinky, Vileplume.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Hero like brings food and stuff to Kotaro, who's just like
holed up in a stinky trash cave.
Yeah, he's hunched over and like his hair is a mess and he looks exhausted and he's just like not in good shape. And like Hero comes a little closer and Gamamon like flies even closer and he's like, you stink. You stink. He says it a little nicer than that, but
But then he absolutely roasts Kotaro because it's like, hey, if you smell this bad, then you're not gonna get any ladies. Kind of like echoing the thing like he heard Kotaro say earlier, which is like, hey, to get the ladies, you got to be all clean and hygienic. So Gamamon's learning. He's learning that that hygiene is good, and being stinky will not get you a GF. Important lessons.
Unless your GF is a disgusting flower.
Yeah, unless your GF is a real unsettling freak.
And sometimes you do want that, but not today. So, okay, wait. So, why is he like... He like freaks out on the ground. Like he's like, I don't care. And then he's just like panicking about it and like grabs Hero's arm and he has to like calm down for a second, drink some water, chill out. Like, how long, like, is this implying that she's been trying to like do the weird like sniffing at night thing every day and he can't sleep? Is that what it's implying? Or is it just like, I'm disgusting and so I feel bad?
Good question. You know, probably the former, honestly. Like, yeah, I don't know. He's having a bad time either way.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, damn, you almost feel bad about it, but, like, he kind of said, like...
almost, because I still hate this fucker.
Right.
I'm not quite there.
Yeah, that's why I said almost, but,
yeah.
He does eventually, like, tell Hero, like, about how he got, like, a weird thing on his neck, and that's, like, when it all started, back at the pool, so the Digimon squad goes there and sees what's up.
Yeah.
I like this little drawing on the locker. I know it's not important at all. I just liked it.
Yeah. There's some little scribbly graffiti on the locker. But yeah. So, you know, they split up. Ruli checks out the girls the girls' locker room.
All by yourself.
And Goramon goes with the boys, but Jellymon also goes with the boys because she doesn't know what gender is.
Yep. Well, we have to have the conceit of Ruli being alone anyway, but
yeah.
Because she does, she is alone in the women's changing room, and she is attacked by Big Flower.
Yeah, the fucking tongue comes out of the ceiling like it did for Kotaro, and it's like, ooh, but Ruli notices it in time and sort of like spins around, and, you know, she was just like looking at a can of spray deodorant, so she just like reflexively, you know, uses that to spray the tongue, and the fucking flower hates this.
Yeah, and it like retreats, and all the boys like heard Ruli yelling, and they're like, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
she's just like, yeah, I was attacked by a hologram ghost, and now it like cuts to nighttime.
We see the little bud on the back of Kotaro's neck actually bloom. Yeah, so then a fucking sexy lady with green skin and red hair looking like very poison ivy with it, also like in sort of a sexy gown, like just kind of shows up, and I think it is like visually indicated that like she's also a hallucination, like she's kind of like glowing and a bit like insubstantial looking, at least I think so.
Yeah. At first I thought she was just... I mean, I think it's supposed to kind of be like, oh, this might be a human disguise for that weird flower Digimon, but...
Yeah.
It's a little different than that, but,
This is just, yeah, it is sort of left ambiguous, but, like, at this point so far, but, like, no, like, later other characters can't see this woman, so it is another hallucination.
Yeah, because, like, the group, like, follows. Or, actually, what happens is, like, Hiro, like, notices Kotaro, like, leaving his room, right? Like, the flower opens up and he, like,
yeah,
apparently is following this lady. And
yeah, because the green lady said that she was going to take him to paradise in a very bad and suggestive way.
yeah. And,
so that's definitely not a trap.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Kind of fucked. But yeah, like, Hiro, like, he kind of knew to keep an eye on Kotaro tonight because, we get, like, a little flashback to, Gamamon, like, noticing the blood on his neck when Hiro was, like, delivering the food, and, that's what made, like, Kotaro, like, say, like, yeah, I heard this fucking voice say that I wasn't ready, and that she'll be back tomorrow night. So, like, he does know that this Digimon is looking for him and trying to smell him and eat him, maybe?
Yeah, so Hiro and the gang did sort of, like, stake out Kotaro's room, so they totally notice it when Kotaro shambles off like a sleep-deprived zombie.
He looks like a freak. He's like,
So, yeah, Kotaro goes to, like, what looks like sort of like an abandoned shopping plaza.
Yeah. Like an overgrown mall area or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, outside partially. And, like, it's very interesting because there's, like, the plants around are kind of important for later, I guess, sorta. But yeah, like...
Yeah, it's like very overgrown and like dilapidated, but yeah. I don't know where the fuck in the city this is, like...
Yeah, I have no idea. It's kind of ambiguous, but they just needed an abandoned place for him to get all neatened up. Because he goes into one of the places and he, like, starts brushing his hair. And
yeah, he goes into a hair salon and, like, gets a comb, and, like, as he's combing his hair, like, he's just, like ripping out, like, clumps of it, because he hasn't washed his hair in 2 weeks, and it's all, like, matted and tangled.
Yeah. He's got some serious knots happening. And, like, enough that Ruli's like, go.
Yeah. Ruli, the one with long hair, is like, ooh, oh no, I hate that.
And I'm like, fair enough.
Yeah.
I have a sensitive scalp, I understand. He seems to be being told by this, like, apparition to, like, do all this too. Because he does that, like, where he brushes his hair, and then he, like, goes to get, like, a skirt on? It's not a skirt. It's, like, I don't know. It's almost like it's made out of, like, straw or something.
I think it's legit like a grass skirt.
Yeah, yeah.
Because this is Plant Lady. She might have made that for him, probably.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, so, like, you know, as he's combing his hair, like, you know, she's telling him, like, that she wants him to be all smooth. And, you know, he puts on the grass skirt because she tells him to take off all his clothes because he won't need those in paradise. And once again, it's very suggestive and bad. And I'm like, hey, this is a kid's show.
I was like, that is a child.
Yeah.
He does shave, too, because he's got to be nice and smooth for paradise. And
he shaves with a leaf, like...
yeah.
And the leaf is like, you know, has like the hologram ghost artifact. So like we can tell that this is like a special leaf that probably came from the plant lady somehow.
Yeah, so
and yeah, it is fucking razor sharp apparently. So Kotaro shaves himself like an hour later, like as someone who shaves their whole body, it takes a while. It takes longer than you think.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. I was just thinking that maybe it wouldn't take as long if you're like young and you have less hair, but
True.
But
But yeah, the lady is talking about how she wants him to be like all smooth and easy to swallow.
yay! We get to the heart of it. Paradise is her stomach. Woo.
What's up, Vor fans?
Like I said, it's like the weirdest way possible. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think Vor fans probably... I don't know. It depends on the Vor fan, but they're really not, like, making this seem appealing at all. No, I don't know.
No. And especially because, like, he has to be all stanky first. And, like...
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, so... Yeah, like, this is where, you know... The plant lady like notices the gang, and like the grass sort of comes alive all around them and starts like, you know, attacking them, and you know they cut it down, but it just like grows back too quickly and they all get like, you know, tied up.
Yeah, they all get tied up. All the Digimon and humans are like hanging from the ceiling by their wrists, and they're kind of watching this all happen with like Kotaro still being hypnotized, being made to hallucinate, like getting into this grass bed.
First, like, the plant lady, like, just takes a big whiff of this stinky teen, and I want to vomit.
Yum.
It's real bad.
Great.
Yeah.
And
she's talking about, like, oh, this will be the first human that I eat. I want the experience to be perfect. I want him to be, you know, perfect amount of stinky, perfect amount of smooth. I'm really putting the effort into this meal prep, and I say couldn't be me.
Could not be me. We get the name of this Digimon because, like, Goromon recognizes her, right?
Yeah, Oleamon?
Yeah.
I think is how it's pronounced. Oleamon or Oleamon.
I didn't want to pronounce it. I was like, I'm gonna sneak around this and hope that Emery knows how to say it.
I was not paying that close attention.
No, me neither.
To the pronunciation.
No. We'll just keep calling her Flower Pervert.
Yeah, flower pervert is I think appropriate. So she's like, I'm gonna eat him, then I'll eat the rest of you next once you're all ripe, and you know, and everyone else has like the flower marks on their neck now. So she's just kind of monologuing, and like one of the leaves that sort of comprise her hands, she just kind of casually takes that and just like cuts a corner off this stone tablet, so her hands are absurdly sharp. And she's like drooling and talking about how like she's the the digital world's like number one gourmand. And then Gourmand gets an idea, and he's like, wow, this is so sad. SMH my head right now. And Flower Pervert is like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? And he's like, wow, that's so typical. You say you're the greatest gourmand ever, but like you haven't even heard of cooking. And she's like, what the fuck? What does this mean?
What is cooking? Hello? And he's like, yeah, well, you want to bring out the flavors even more so. So we have to like steam this boy. And to do that, I'll show you how if you let me go. And she sure does do that. But like, it's fine. I mean, she still has her sharp ass fingers pointed at Simba and Goraman, so can't run away or anything.
Yeah. So Simbara and Goraman is like, I learned about this technique called steaming from a period novel, and I'm like, God, you fucking nerd, I love you. So he takes out like a big empty metal drum and is like, hey, I need to fill this with water in order to do the steaming. Can you take this mark off of me so that I don't get hallucinations when I try to get the water? And she's like, okay, fine. So then she like sends out a wave that like removes the marks from everyone, and then Simbara and Goraman and Ruli just sort of nod to each other, and then it's fucking on, and Simbara and Goraman just like kicks the empty drum straight into Oleaman.
Yeah, it's great.
It's good. Fucking Angoramon being so crafty in this one. It's like, yeah. It's like some very JoJo shit where like he's in like, a very bad situation and just like comes, like once he gets this plan together, he just goes at it with like the most confidence, and it rules.
I like that like at first like Ruli seems like very like what are you doing? But she like lets it, she doesn't say that. She just kind of like looks at him and like it's like, okay, I'll trust my partner. He knows what he's doing, I think. And he does. Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah, and then Simbara and Goraman like cuts everyone's bindings, and Kiyoshiro like activates the cyber field, pseudo-digital world, so Kotaro disappears.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised it didn't make him like come into the world, because he has like the little bud on him.
But I think I thought that too, but also I think probably his bud got removed too when everyone else...
Oh, I think it actually showed it even. I think you're right.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, okay. It did. Sorry. I totally forgot. It seems very inconvenient that like you have to like do a wave to like make the bud come off.
Yeah. if she could only do one at a time, then they'd be screwed.
Yeah.
They'd just be hallucinating while trying to fight. Yeah, so Oleamon is like real pissed that her meal just disappeared. She's like, hey, what did you do with him? Where the fuck he go? So then she's like, she has a very raw line of, I'll slice you up and wait for you to ripen. That's evocative. That's Yum. She wants to eat some rancid human corpse meat.
She sure does. They call that high meat.
Yummy.
It's apparently a thing. Don't do it. Don't actually do it. But
ew.
It is apparently
Gross.
a thing that people online are trying to do, you know.
No.
Not humans, but still, rotten meat's gross.
Still, rotten meat? No, just don't.
Yeah, even though she says that raw line, she does get her ass beat.
Yeah.
Because actually, so what ends up happening is Ruli gets like an idea, and she like runs and grabs some more of those like spray deodorant things, and she's like, Olemon does not like the smell of good things. She only wants bad smell. So let's
Listen though, scented deodorants also do not play nice with my sensory processing, so I kind of get where Oleamon's coming from here.
Sure.
If I were surrounded by deodorant mist, I would also be debilitated.
Sure, I don't think I would be super happy about it either, to be fair. It's, you know, I don't get a ton of migraines, but like I have in the past, and that might actually give me one. Because they sure do spray a lot of them.
I have gotten migraines from like peppermint oil before. I don't know if like
bummer.
deodorant would necessarily do it, but like probably enough of it, I can see that happening.
I feel like you would also not like the smell of like unbathed human though either.
Yeah, no, listen. I don't like that smell either.
I like that, like, they kind of all just, like, throw cans at her in their own special digital way, and then, Hiro has, Betelgeuse, like, do a sore shot, because it's, like, all the gases make it, like, they're flammable, and, like, make it, like, a crazy explosion of fire where she is.
Just fucking lights up all the fucking aerosol mist in the air at once.
Yeah. I kind of like these episodes where they, like, are just like, we only need champions for this because we have an idea.
Yeah. I like that they did, you know, the fight a little more, that they did the fight sort of creatively instead of just, like, evolving to the next level and you know, just trying to overpower her.
Yeah. She is like, yeah, okay, I give up, whatever. I got fucking destroyed.
Mm-hmm. And we learn once again that this is all Hokuto's fault.
As always, it's Hokuto's fault. That motherfucker.
Yeah, because Hiro is like, hey, where did you even get the idea that humans would be good to eat? You probably weren't eating a bunch of humans in the digital world, so, like, what's up? Where is this coming from? And, you know, she fucking flashes back to the one time she served a meal to a human in the digital world, and it's that motherfucker we hate. It's goddamn Hokuto. And, you know, he just sort of takes, you know, and there is just like a visible stink cloud coming off of like the meal that Oleamon has served him. So he just like sort of takes up a big forkful of it and is like, this sort of smells like a person who hasn't bathed in about 2 weeks. So, and then Oleamon is just fucking is immediately like, oh, smelly humans? That must be food.
Yeah, I was like, why didn't you try this with Hokuto? That's what I was wondering. Like, just, you know, try it on him first. We don't have to deal with him and his bullshit.
Yeah. Really?
Man, 2 missed opportunities in this episode of getting rid of shitty dudes we hate. Nah, yeah. I mean, kind of a bad way to go by a pervert plant.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this sort of ties back into something I said last week of like, the reason Hokuto is causing so many problems is just like, because he really just is not, you know, making the effort to like understand, you know, the Digimon's perspective before he just like goes off and says whatever to them. he's not like, oh, this person just doesn't have context for like humans at all and doesn't know that they are not food. So I'll just compare them to an apparently what is the word I'm looking for? What's like a fucking fancy meal word?
Entree, I don't know.
Gourmet, I think.
Gourmet. Oh, yeah, gourmet.
Yeah, I'll just compare a human to this apparently gourmet food and it'll be fine.
No, it's good. He did, for as long as he's been in the digital world, he doesn't seem to understand how literal Digimon take things, especially when they haven't been talking to humans for a while. You know, like they haven't...
Exactly, yeah.
You know...
It's like
Jellymon and Goromon and stuff, like they understand metaphor a little better because they've been around humans more, but...
Yeah, but like it's explicitly been called out that like Digimon like tends to take things super literally, like, you know, with Espimon back a couple of episodes ago being like, yeah, you can't be hero because Hokuto said the real hero was a spitting image of him, so I'm looking for the guy who looks exactly the same.
That's such a like taking things literally accidentally is kind of a mood though.
Yeah. Listen, like, I think we've talked about, like, I know I've talked about how Jellymon is definitely sort of very bipolar coded. I think, like, a lot of the Digimon are neurodivergent coded, like, yeah, and that definitely seems like a possible reading there.
Yeah, for sure. I like that their solution with her, though, is to just... I guess we haven't gotten there yet, because we have to fucking talk about fucking Kotaro, and how he's not afraid of water anymore. Whatever. Yeah. Who cares? I don't want to talk about him. I want to talk about the solution to the pervert plant lady, where they have her just eating stinky foods online?
Yeah, she's just a YouTuber now, and people are like, wow, cool avatar. Cool VTuber avatar.
Yeah.
And she's just making videos about really smelly food and how much she loves it.
Yeah. I don't even remember the one she had, but any smelly food you can think of, she's probably more than down to eat it. Lots of, like, stinky fishes and stuff out there.
Yeah, so Angoromon gives the line, there's no accounting for taste, but there's nothing wrong with liking what you like. Presumably, unless liking what you like involves eating humans or sexually assaulting a teen.
Yeah, generally speaking. I think Angoromon is anti that, yes.
I think Angoromon is anti that, yeah. Anyway... That sure was a fucking episode.
Yeah, it sure was. I don't even know what to say past that now, though. Other than it exists.
It's really like... Again, very surprised that, like, they made it as explicit as they did. Like... really pushing the boundary of what they can get away with in a children's show in a way that I'm less comfortable with.
Yeah, hopefully the next one's better. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah. Next one is pretty fun.
Good.
We're back to some good old body horror.
Good. I like that. I don't have to...
Yeah.
Well, body horror can be fucked up, like we mentioned. The plant stuff, and how that was kind of the limit of grossness before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think...
Yeah, I'm not sure that I have a lot more to say on this one. Just, it sure was doing something.
It sure exists, and I'm good with not thinking about it after this.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I probably will remember it occasionally, but it happens.
All right. So, do we wanna head into our plugs?
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I'll plug Elvir's Twitter since they're not here. They're on Twitter at Eruviru.
Right. And then I go, I guess. You can find me at Haunting the Morgue on Twitter. That's Haunting the MORG. You can also find me on my other podcasts, fucking Forward ReZero, a ReZero Watch podcast, and Sonic Shuffle, a random and holistic Sonic lore podcast. Yeah, that's it.
I'm on a podcast called Go and Will Hunting, where we talk about Hunter x Hunter. We have most of the files we needed uploaded to end our hiatus and finally publish. Really hoping that we'll get that taken care of soon. I know I've been saying this for so long, but we are much closer now than we have been in many, many months. Also getting very close to the release of We Rate Queerbait, my new upcoming podcast where we do the thing in the title. So I'm also on Fur Affinity at Space Robot. You can get in touch with me about commissions at nope, that's the show Twitter. What am I doing? That's the next thing I have to say.
It happens.
You can get in touch with me about that on Discord or at my email address, spacerobotart@gmail.com. And hey, if you're liking the new cover art for the podcast that just updated, I drew that shit.
So good. I was gonna say I knew it was the Discord icon. I wasn't sure if we were making it the fucking podcast art, but it fucking rocks. Love to see Goose Cameron saying gay rights.
Hell yeah. He does say that for sure.
Such a sicko.
You can find this podcast at DigiGhostGaze on Twitter. See, that's where that belongs. We also have a Discord linked in the show notes where you can come and talk about spoilers for the newer episodes. And we also have our Aptly Mondays channel where every week we watch a couple new episodes of App Monsters, and that's been a very fun time. This Monday we get to see our boy. We get to see Offman for the first time, and he's a little baby, and I love him. Oh yeah, I forgot that I also have a couple of extra plugs for this week.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back to that now. So I'm going to be on an upcoming episode of Video Game the Movie, the podcast, talking about Pokemon the first movie, Mewtwo's Revenge, and so I'm gonna be doing that with Dan and Maxi, and I'm gonna be doing my favorite thing, which is hyperfixating on Mewtwo's character arc. And I can't say too much about it because this project hasn't been officially announced, but I'm gonna be in an upcoming podcast thing that I'm very excited about, and yeah, there will probably be an announcement about that in the next couple of months. I'm not sure of the exact timeline for that, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I have a hard time listening to fiction stuff sometimes, but I really want to make the effort because I know a bunch of people working on it, and so there's a little hint about, I guess, what it's gonna maybe be a little.
Yeah. A lot of people involved in this project that I'm a very big fan of.
Yeah. I even considered applying, but I was like, eh.
Yeah, so I think that about does it. This podcast is part of the Noisespace.xyz network. You can go to Noisespace.xyz and find all sorts of neat podcasts. Yeah, anything we want to shout out this week?
It's did we shout out Sounds About Light? Because that's the new
Yeah, we talked about that one last week.
That's right. Well,
Wow Cool Robot is doing some good shit right now. Yeah, they're doing 2 series at once right now. They're doing Build Fighters with Dan and Yuria, and also the new series. They're covering that as it comes out. Witch from Mercury with I believe Phoenix. So
yeah,
that's pretty sick. If you ever want to hear about 2 Gundam series at once on alternating weeks, check it out.
Very different vibes as far as I know.
Yeah.
Too.
I've been keeping up with G-Witch. I haven't seen the new episode for today, but it's pretty good so far.
How many episodes are out so far?
The prologue and then 3 episodes proper, so 4 technically.
Maybe I'll catch up tonight.
Yeah, very very digestible amount out right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that about does it for us. So until next time, all you poltergeist ghouls and non-lunaries, Digimon is for the gays. Goodbye, darling.
Bye.